So I'm chatting with Pastor Eliot Vlatko from the Baptist Church here. And, mate, since Will Graham came to town, there was a big event there. Vision Radio was here. It was such a great weekend. Many people came to Christ. Tell us a bit about how things have changed in Kalgoorlie since that weekend.
Well, we've had a real change in the spiritual atmosphere. We are aware that there is a spiritual battle going on over the goldfields, but we are aware that Jesus has taken great swathes of territory here through that event, and it was a huge breakthrough. We've seen great support coming from the mayor and the council. They really value, especially that the churches work in such unity. That's not lost on them. They are aware of the very helpful impact that has on the community. And beyond that, just a little vignette I'd like to share that really means a lot to me, but I hope it gives encouragement to others. My brother Peter was really unwell last year, but throughout that event, we had a lot of people praying for him. And I had the great privilege of being invited by Steve Grace to help welcome Will when he actually landed. We were down there at Centennial Park, and we had our guitars and we sang a song to welcome Will. And Steve, just as a joke, said, "Put your guitar case out, Eliot. Let's do some busking while we're here." So I put my guitar case out, and when Will came along, he introduced himself, pulled out his wallet, and placed an American dollar in my guitar case. And I said to myself, I'm keeping that. That's a real memory to keep. But last year, my brother Peter, who hadn't really been interested in anything about my ministry, he was really unwell, and he asked me, what was this Will Graham thing all about? I was down in Perth visiting Pete, and I knew God was saying to me, give him that dollar, give that dollar to Pete. And I pulled the dollar out and I said to Pete, Pete, this was given to me by Will Graham. There's nothing magical about this dollar note, but what it reminds me, and what I hope it reminds you, is that God hasn't forgotten you. That He knows where this dollar is travelling, where it's going. It's with you, but it's from Will, and I want you to know that God has not forgotten you, and He never will.
That's such a powerful testimony, and I know that so many pastors here have been so encouraged by the visit from the team. And of course, there was the Afters and Steve Grace and all the Brownlee gospel singers. Like, it was such a great event. I really enjoyed having a coffee with all the pastors the other day too. There's such a great relationship between all the churches, isn't there?
Yeah, and they actually like you. I hope you can understand with the amount of teasing and vitriol that was poured on you, Matt. That means they love you.
Oh, good. Yeah. And I saw something on your cabinet here, 2020 Vision, first transformed city in Australia. What's all that about?
Well, 25 years ago, pastors Larry and Daryl started meeting together to pray. Larry's the pastor at the Church of Christ, and Daryl at C3, and they've been praying for revival for 25 years. And now that prayer group of pastors has grown to, on most mornings, we'll have up to 10 praying together for revival, all different denominations. And a vision that came to these real faithful partners in ministry. I'm not sure exactly how many years ago. I think it was about 5 years ago. Was a vision that, it would have been longer, 7 years ago, a vision that by 2020 Kalgoorlie will be the first transformed city in Australia.
Amen, I love it. And it's also kind of a good plug for Vision Radio's 2020 program with Neil Johnson as well. So I like that. 2020 Vision, I love it. It's a great connection there. Well, mate,